Hello and welcome to the video for measurement and geometry number 1, MG number 1. Make sure you're open to the appropriate worksheet and let's begin. So number 1, Jose bought a rope that was 8 feet long. How many inches long is this rope? In parentheses, 12 inches equals 1 foot. Okay, this is all about ratios and proportions. For the most part, we're just going to stick with the word ratio. It's all the same thing. But this is the word we're going to use over and over again here. Because you're going to be setting up a ratio. And what a ratio looks like when you set it up is two empty fractions. So in your workspace, underneath the problem, draw an equal sign and two empty fractions that have no numbers, no nothing. No letters, anything. Alright, so now we're going to turn this problem into a numerical problem, which is a ratio. This is going to be a set of ratios. So how we do that is first ID your units of measurement and fill them in. Units of measurement are like inches, feet, miles, liters, kilometers, grams, pounds. Those are all, anything like that. That thing that tells you whether you're talking about distance, weight, height, volume, all that stuff. Those are your units of measurement. So in this case, because they've clearly defined what's known as the scale, you could just pull those down. So we're going to do inches and feet. So starting with one side, we're going to pick one to go on top and one to go on bottom. Doesn't matter what one you pick, just put one on top, one on bottom. I'm going to go with inches on top and feet on the bottom. Okay, step C. Circle one of the fractions, and fill it in with the numbers from the scale. So we put inches on top. The scale says 12 inches. So we put a 12. The scale says 1 foot, so we put 1 feet right there. That's step C. Step D, now fill in the other side using the problem. So in the problem we see it says 8 feet long. So over here we have to stay consistent. If we put feet on the bottom here, we have to put it on the bottom over here. We have to put inches on the top here because we put it on top here. 90% of the time when people get these questions wrong, it's because they messed this part up. Before the math comes into play, even not putting their numbers in what numbers to use, they put them in the wrong way. You put feet up here and inches down here, but the reverse over here, you're going to get it wrong, and the answer that you'll find will be a number in the options on the Casey. That is how they set the trap with this question. Getting that flipped around, and then you'll solve it and you do all your math right, you'll see the answer and you'll think you're right because you find it in the choices and then you're wrong. Don't fall into that trap. Okay, but to continue with D, we stay consistent, and now we know that in the problem we have 8 feet, so I'm going to put 8 by feet. And how many inches long is the rope? We don't know. We've already used this. This is the scale. The scale is the one we circled. This is not scale. This is what's from the problem. We don't know any inches, so that's just going to be X. And the answer to this problem is solving for X. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so we've got 12 over 1 equals X over 8. And now we can just, first we're going to make a whole new equation, but no lines yet, no fractions. So this equal sign is being brought down to a new problem. Then we're going to multiply across. X times 1 is X, and 12 times 8. We're going to multiply across this way and put the answer right here. Notice that it's very similar to when we're multiplying fractions and we did cross canceling, which is dividing by greatest common factors if they exist. That is not what this is. There's cross multiplying and cross canceling. I've taught you early about cross canceling. I haven't told you anything about cross multiplying, which is what this is. Cross multiplying, there's no canceling, no greatest common factor, it's just multiplying diagonally. So 12 times 8, X times 1. And this leaves us with X equals 96. So the question is asking us how many inches long is the rope? 96 inches. You're done. Next problem. 2. Amy used 32 ounces of water making instant rice. How many cups of water did she use? 8 ounces equals 1 cup. This is no different. We're going to do the same thing. I'm going to do a little faster this time because there's really no difference. So we're going to set up our ratio. Here's our scale. So we got ounces. OZ is short for ounces, and cups. So let's go ahead and get ahead of ourselves and set it up over here so there's no chance we mess that up. And then we're going to put the scale on the one I circled here. So 8 ounces, keep it matched up, ounces down. That's why I label it ahead of time so I don't get confused. 1 and 1. Then fill in the right side with the problem. The problem tells us there's 32 ounces. And how many cups? We don't know how many cups, so X. And now we can solve. So we're going to bring down our equal sign, multiply this way, 32 times 1 is 32, and multiply this way, 8 times X is 8X. Well, now we didn't just get X equals, but we know how to do this. We've been working on this for a week or so now. Divide by 8. Because trying to get the X by itself, divide by 8, and X equals 4. Now they wanted to know how many cups, so 4 cups is the answer. Just like that. There's only the 2 examples, so go ahead and get started on the practice problems. We're just not going to bother with the homework for this problem, for this worksheet, because the next 2 videos are going to be very, very similar. So we're going to be practicing this a lot over the next 2 videos. Thank you.